So Cardano ADA has ended up tapping into this region between 63.27 cents to 65.02 cents. And this target is our Y wave target, which is this wave here. And the Y wave typically retraces anywhere between 1 to 1.236 of our W wave. And then shortly after, we ended up seeing a bounce to the upside. And it's possible that we ended up actually bottoming out to complete the W wave. However, in my previous video, I did talk about the potential of a deeper move to the downside where ADA could potentially reach anywhere between 61.86 cents to 63.22 cents. Now, this is not so much a necessity, given that the Y wave minimum requirement is a 61.8% retracement of the W wave. And so it's possible that within the Y wave here, we have a WXY structure that's forming. And if I very quickly use the Fib tool to check to see if the minimum requirement has been met, and yeah, you can see that the 61.8% retracement level was met, and we ended up actually extending beyond that level. And so it's possible that the wave structure is now complete, and we are now on the move to the upside, where we could then begin to potentially track the wave X. And should that be the case, the wave X typically retraces anywhere between 50 to 88.2% of our W wave. And so if I draw that in, and you can see that ADA has the potential to reach anywhere between around 69.24 cents to 73.26 cents. So if I draw that in as well, and we actually almost tapped into that region. And it's possible that the wave X is complete, given that the minimum requirement is a 23.6% retracement of the W wave, which we ended up extending beyond that level. However, I am looking for a bigger move where we have a WXY structure forming. So if I remove this and go down to the 5-minute chart to break down what's going on with this recent move to the upside, and straight away I can see that this move to the upside is made up of corrective moves rather than impulsive moves. So for example, we have this move here to the upside, which looks to be impulsive, and then we have a corrective move to the downside made up of a WXY structure, where the Y wave is also made up of a WXY structure. And then we have this move to the upside, and this move to the upside looks to be impulsive. And so very quickly, if I check to see if the wave 3 met the requirement, and in fact, no. So this move is actually corrective rather than impulsive. And reason being is because for this move to be impulsive, the wave 3 needs to reach the 1.618 retracement level at 67 cents. However, we failed to reach that level, and instead we ended up extending beyond the 1.236 retracement level. And so, in other words, we ended up having a WXY structure to the upside to then complete a WXY structure like so. And then what ended up following suit was a corrective move to the downside made up of a WXY structure, and then a final move to the upside, which looks to be impulsive, where we have a wave 1, 2, maybe like a wave 3, 4, 5, if I was to break that down on the minute chart, which I won't do. But nevertheless, it looks to be a corrective move rather than an impulsive move. And so what ended up forming was a WXY structure like so. And then what we can do very quickly is check to see if the Y wave ended up meeting the typical requirements. And bring that to the right place. And yeah, you can see that again, what makes this not an impulsive move is the fact that we never reached the 1.618 retracement level at around 69.43 cents. But instead we ended up extending beyond the 1.236 retracement level. And so it looks like this move to the upside is now complete, and we are now on a retracement to the downside, where it's possible that we have a bigger WXY structure forming, like so. And so it's possible that we are now within the wave X, which again is typically a 50 to 88.2% retracement of the W wave. So ADA has the potential to reach anywhere between around 64.79 cents to 66.55 cents. So if I draw that in, so yeah, it's possible that within this move to the downside, what we are forming also is a WXY structure, like so. And so, yeah, for us to be bullish, essentially what we need is for ADA to not go any deeper than our wave one, because as you guys know, for the bullish scenario, I'm looking at a 5-wave move to the upside, where it's possible that we are within the wave four, and the wave four is complete, made up of a WXY structure, and we could potentially be within the wave five. And so for us to remain bullish, then what we need is for ADA to not break this high of our wave one / wave two origin at around 64 cents, give or take, which we haven't done yet. And one thing that we can discount is the possibility of this being a 5-wave move to the upside, where this is our wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And reason being is because our local low, it's looking kind of messy at the moment, the chart, but the local low sits at around 64.2 cents. And we ended up actually going deeper than our quote unquote wave 1 / wave 2 origin. And so really the only possibility that could be in play right now is a WXY structure to the upside, where the Y wave is made up of 5 waves, which is what could be in right now. And it's possible that we are within the wave 5. And should that be the case, then what we can do is actually adjust the wave 5 target, given that we ended up going deeper. And so that wave 5 target would sit between 77.27 cents to 81.81 cents. If I adjust this to here and to here. So if I remove that now and try and tidy up the chart a little bit as well. Now, what is interesting is on the stochastic RSI, it's showing us that we are within the overbought conditions. And so it's possible that the bears could regain control of the market and drive the price of ADA down. And should that be the case, then I will be looking at ADA to potentially regenerate between 64.78 cents to 66.56 cents. And the same can be said on the 4-hour chart with regards to us being within the overbought conditions. However, on the daily chart, we are within the oversold conditions. And so again, it's possible that we have this scenario playing out where there is still more room to the upside, where ADA could potentially tap into this region here between 69.2 cents to 73.29 cents. And so, yeah, that's just my quick update on Cardano ADA. Hopefully you found this useful. And if you did, then feel free to hit that like button. And if you're new, feel free to subscribe. Take it easy, people. Peace.